New Year, Happy New Year. Bonne année, bonne année, bonne année. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Touch Gloves Boxing. Remember to like, share, subscribe. I'll go by the name Biyenge, featuring yours Truly Tre when you're ready. Yo, it's good.
Yo, what's going on, cuz, man? Obviously, 2020 year, 22, 20 years, 2022. That's what I am, man, because obviously we're in a new year, fresh start, fresh energy. And yeah, man, how you been though, man? How you been?
I'm feeling electrifying. I'm good.
Crying. Come on. I'm loving that energy already, man. And look, cuz, I'm not gonna lie, man, I just want to get straight down to it, man. We've obviously already had our first fight of the year. Boy, man, like King Kong. King Kong. He's back, man. He's back.
Yeah.
Man, obviously King Kong comes and defeats the Prince Charles Martin, but cuz we have to review this epic fight, man. What you saying? This is the first fight of 2022. Big up obviously PBC and Fox. They produced the goods in terms of the coverage. And I was quite happy with the coverage. I don't know about you guys.
No, I was impressed. You know what? I was actually impressed with Charles Martin because in the build-up, he was saying, you know, this ain't going to go 12 round and I'm looking to knock out Luis Ortiz. Now, before I was saying to myself, that ain't going to happen. Luis Ortiz is going to knock him out silly. But I'm actually impressed with Charles Martin's performance. I mean, round one, wow, you know, and then round four, you know, he pretty much shook the world. But then round six, boy, he got buzzed. Some say the referee should have stopped it straight away, but some are arguing and saying that the referee shouldn't have stopped it. What's your thoughts?
Boy, cuz like I don't really have much to say about the situation, man. But the fight itself, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it was a great way to start off the year, of course, man, because um, the, I don't know if you noticed, but there weren't much of a sort of build up in terms of the coverage of what's going on. Like we didn't know what was going on in their camps. That we saw sort of a few clips from obviously PBC, of course, but the overall sort of build up to the fight, we weren't too sure what to expect. But because it's the start of the year, it had to be fireworks. And look, big up both warriors. They both delivered, in my opinion. And us fans, we won. We won with that sort of performance, man. Because obviously Charles Martin, I didn't expect him to sort of come out the way he did. He surprised me in terms of his strategy for the fight. He was obviously the more hungrier, the younger fighter. So at the time, I thought, you know what, he might have a potential opportunity. But I think for me, it was more experience in this situation, and Ortiz did what he needed to do to finish the fight.
With Ortiz, do you think it was ring rust for both of them, or do you think with Ortiz he's just getting too old now? I mean, he's 42.
Well, I do feel that, you know, being out the ring for a long period of time does obviously have its effect on the fighter, of course, and you can argue it was a bit of ring rust from Ortiz, but he did what he needed to do. He made the adjustments, of course, and showed everyone that, you know, he's still the man that's in the mix for the heavyweight title, in my opinion. And we saw his class at the end of the day. Because if you think about it, Martin, he's hungry, he's young, he's obviously gonna have more energy. He's gonna obviously have that more grit to try and obviously get the win over the old man in this situation. But it was just that sixth round just said it all for me, cuz, man.
I mean, all right, so Ortiz is one, but what's next for him? I mean, look, we already established there's a long queue in the heavyweight division. The next time Luis Ortiz gets a title shot, he'll probably be like, what, 45, 46? Because with all the rematch clause going on, etc. You've got Daniel Dubois waiting for a shot. You've got Joe Joyce waiting for a shot. You've got Dylan White waiting for a shot. You know, what's his name? Parker and Ortiz. So the opponent I think that should challenge Ortiz next will be Derek Chisora. That will be an excellent fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? You mentioned that in one of our previous pods, in fact, and I feel that that'll be a tremendous fight in America, man, for both guys.
Yeah.
Especially for Chisora because this is sort of the fight that you could measure how good he is compared to someone on Ortiz's level because Ortiz he's world class in my opinion. He's up there. He's definitely in the top five for the rest of the boxers in the division. If you're obviously including the likes of Ruiz Jr., of course, the Destroyer. Obviously, you're putting in Joshua Wilder. You're putting on obviously all these names before him, but he's definitely up there in the top five in my opinion.
Baby Miller made a comment because he was there at the fight. He reckons it'll be
there?
both of them. Yeah. I think Baby Miller should challenge Charles Martin, a warm-up fight, and then throw him back in the mix. That's when he's back in the mix.
Woo! What, big Baby Miller?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, man, that I'm not gonna lie, like he's one of the guys that we obviously we miss in the sport in terms of the entertainment, man.
Entertainment, yeah.
I always feel that, like, I'm not gonna lie, I always feel that it's like when you're watching sort of his build-ups, his interviews, it feels like I'm watching WWE, man. I'm like I'm a kid again. I'm not gonna lie, it brings off that energy, man. So it'll be good to obviously see him back in the ring fighting. So 2022, hopefully we can bring Jerome Miller versus Martin. That would be interesting because I don't think that's it for Martin. I think
No, not at all.
yeah, I think you mentioned it obviously off air that there's other fights that you could see him potentially being involved in, and I think this fight with a big baby in this situation would be massive in my opinion.
Like I said, look, the fights that I would like to see is Martin Miller, Parker and Ruiz 2, Derek Chisora and Ortiz, and that's about it for now. And obviously, the Can Man and Fury. We'll get back onto that.
Hey, but yeah, we'll talk about that, man. But that's just absolutely crazy, man. But look, overall opinion, like just to sort of summarize the first fight, the first sort of major event for 2022. So I want you to sort of put into consideration like the whole coverage, the build up, the pundits, the analysts. Like, what did you think of the overall
Oh
show?
yeah. No, you got to big up. You had the legend Lennox Lewis. You had Mr. Paul himself, Showtime. No. The undercard. I enjoyed the undercard. The main event, obviously, was, it was electrifying. Like I said, I wasn't expecting Charles Martin to fight like that. I think he's still got it in him. I think he's still hungry. Like you said, the younger man, I think he's still hungry. And I feel that he still needs an opportunity. Maybe later on he can get a title shot. But just remember, he was a former champion at one point. Whereas Ortiz, remember, he lost to a champion twice. So like I always say, anything is possible, especially in the heavyweight division. Some say, right about now, we actually don't know who's going to be the undisputed champion because anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? Anything. Some say Fury, some say Usyk, some say Joshua, some say Dylan. Bro, anything can happen. We'll see. But I'm happy. But I'm not gonna lie. King Kong, I think age is catching up a little bit. Yeah, they'll ring rust, but I think age is catching up just a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? Possibly. Look, at the end of the day, the way I saw it is obviously King Kong. He's the fighter who's in his 40s. Of course, he's the man that's fighting the younger man. In this situation, obviously, you would expect a Charles Martin to do something against the older person in this situation. But the thing is, Ortiz, this is what people need to understand, and I think it only took me until understanding his story that made me realize why he fights for that reason. Obviously, he's fighting for his daughter, of course. Obviously, I don't know if you
Yeah,
looked into the whole
yeah.
story, man. But his story is pretty deep, man. So I feel that that motivation, that drive, is always gonna sort of get him through those situations. Like what happened yesterday, he had to dig deep.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? I reckon if it wasn't for certain circumstances, he probably. I'm not saying he would have gave up, but he probably would have stayed down, or you don't know what would have happened in those sort of situations, man. So you got to give the man props. He obviously done the job and he did what he needed to do to get the result, man. But you know what, cuz man, I just want to get into the next sort of subject, and for me, I think this is obviously going to be an exciting one. Of course, we have Mr. Keith one time Thurman. He's obviously going to be back fighting in February, of course. The guy is fighting, of course, just to sort of point out there for those who are not sort of too sure, he's fighting Mario El Azteca Barrios. So the guy that Tank obviously fought previously when he obviously moved up to 140. Now both guys are obviously moving up to welterweight. Obviously, Keith Thurman is a former welterweight champion, of course, but Barrios is moving up from 140 to 147. Cuz before we all sort of get into it, what's your overall thoughts about Mario Barrios? Firstly, just Mario Barrios. What's your thoughts about him? I
He's a
know you.
warrior.
Yeah, yeah,
He's a warrior. He's a warrior. You know, taking that step up to welterweight, yeah, I think he's got a good chance. I mean, Keith. All right, last time Keith fought, he fought Pacquiao. I believe that was 2019.
yeah.
Uh, at this point, it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be a
Mm,
close fight because I always go by, you know, Mario. He's been more active. I mean, his last fight was with what's his name, Devontae.
yeah, Tank. Yeah.
Yeah, Tank. That was last. Yeah, last year. And
Mm.
Keith, 2019, mate. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying it's going to be a close fight. If anything, Keith may just win on points, but I don't know. I mean, how do you see it going?
You know what? Cuz like you've got it absolutely spot on. But when you think about fighters being away from a ring for such a long period of time, look, as sports people, of course, you just know that when you're away from the ring for such a long period of time and then you come back, it does sort of take a few minutes to adjust, of course.
Mm,
um it's a tough one because I'm not gonna lie, I like both fighters, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, I like El Azteca. I like his energy. He brings that Mexican grit. Like I absolutely love it, man. And Keith Thurman, I'm not gonna lie, on a different level, Keith Thurman's story like touches me. If obviously people don't really know about the story, he
mm,
obviously came up with his original trainer Biyenge. Obviously, the his original trainer obviously didn't get to see him win a world championship, but his dream was always to build a champion from local level to that sort of level, man. So Keith Thurman, he doesn't fight for himself. He fights for the pride of his old trainer Bengeti. So I think he's gonna bring a lot of surprises, especially this year in this division, man. But you know, before I sort of get into some more points, we've
mm.
obviously got a comment here. So obviously got to go big up whoever this is. I don't know what language this is, man, but you know, Happy New Year, whoever that is. I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? No disrespect, man, but it's all love at the end of the day, man. But in my opinion, I think it's a tough one, man. But I think if you're going by sheer quality of opponents and the person obviously the more comfortable in the division, you would have to obviously go for Keith. I do agree with you because of the sort of inactivity in out of the ring. I reckon it could be a point victory for him. I reckon it could just be one of those fights where because Barrios, because he's so hungry, so strong. He's one of those characters where it's gonna take a lot for him to stay down, like as obviously shown in his previous fight. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be
So,
tough.
am I right in saying if Barrios was to be victorious, would he be next in line for title shot? Or,
Ooh.
in fact, just had an idea, right?
Yeah.
If Barrios, calls a scene and beats Keith, I would like Barrios to fight Conor Ben.
Woo!
Something different, isn't it?
Whoa. Yo, that would be mad. That would be absolutely mad. That would be mad. That would be mad, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. Keith is calling for the big guys, man. He's calling for Spence.
And who else? Spence. And I would like to see Conor fight Crawford.
Crawford.
Yeah. Because Spence right about now, he's tied up with UGAS. And technically, Crawford, well, I don't know what's going on with Crawford.
What do you think is going to happen? Like, you know what? We're at that subject now, and I'm just going to go straight into it. Welterweight madness. What's 2022 looking like? Are we going to finally crown the undisputed welterweight champion, or do you think it's going to drag on a little bit longer?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I don't see why not, because Eddie Hearn made a statement. He said, he won't sign Crawford because he hasn't got anything for him. My only best bet is Crawford should go with PBC.
Wait, he said Crawford hasn't got anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, he's got Conor Ben, he's trying to build him up. Crawford is just, do you know what I mean?
No,
plus more money and whatnot. Yeah.
No.
So
from that aspect, because I was more thinking about, him monopolizing the game, especially in the welterweight division, by getting an American fighter. Also, you've got Conor Ben.
I mean,
you can make those fights a lot easier. Stable.
Yeah, possibly it could, but right about now, how I see it, the winner UGAS and Spence should hopefully challenge Crawford. If not, I really don't know. I don't know. The only person I can see challenging Crawford will probably be not Josh Taylor, because obviously he's tied in. Will fight. What's his name? I've forgotten his name now. My name's gone blank. The European welterweight champion.
David Avanesian.
Yeah. Why not? That should be an interesting fight.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. Look, I just want to run through this comment just very quickly before obviously we catch up with the show itself. Look, big up Mark, of course, man. Mark is obviously a regular. Happy New Year to Mr. Biyenge and Dre. Obviously, it's Trey, but don't worry, big up, don't worry. Obviously, we know, man, it's all good energy, man. So, Mark, Happy New Year, and obviously make this year a tremendous one, of course, man. But, cuz, I'm not going to lie. All right, so let me ask you a quick question then, man. If you were to rank the welterweights from 1 to 3,
all right,
who's your number one, man?
All right, cool. Crawford, Spence, UGAS. I'm gonna have to put man like Conor, because I said it from time ago. Conor Ben's ready.
He's ready. He's
ready.
I think he's ready for a title shot. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see him fight UGAS, if I'm honest with you, man.
Well, I could be wrong, but I think they're in talks with AB, Adrian Broner.
Wait, Conor Ben and what? Adrian Broner?
I mean, nothing's been confirmed yet. They're in talks, so that should hopefully happen this year. Hopefully in America.
Woo! That would be. I'm not.
What I'm saying is, if that fight does happen and he is successful, then he has to challenge for a title. He's proven all the doubters, all the haters. Do you know what I mean? He's the real deal.
He is, man. No, big up Conor Ben, man, as well, man, because obviously at the end of the day, since his career started, he's always been compared to his dad. Naturally, pundits, experts, they're going to do this. But throughout the years, he's been able to build his own legacy, and he's building a name for himself. And look, his dad was the Dark Destroyer. Conor Ben is the Destroyer. They're two different entities, and I definitely feel that. At times, though, when he gets into beast mode, I see a lot of the Dark Destroyer. I'm not gonna lie, but that's not even in a bad way, man. That's in his DNA, man. There's certain things that you can't stop, man. So I do agree with you. I definitely feel that Ben is ready for a title shot. And this year, look, I'm hoping for a big fight for him this year, man. I'm hoping for a big fight from him this year. I'm hoping for the UGAS and Spence unification bout. I think it needs to happen, in my opinion. I think they've sort of approved it. I do believe
I think so, yeah.
someone's obviously been accepted the step aside money for them to fight, man. So apparently this could happen. So what do you generally think, man? Like, what do you think?
You know what? Like you said, it's a madness. Who knows? Nobody
It is,
knows.
man.
It's
It
just
is.
a madness.
It is, man. It is. It is. It is. It is. Big up, man. But obviously, like, look, this is the boxing roundup, of course, man, and we've got a lot of news that's obviously coming along. Cause this is a question that I normally just like to just put out there. Cause what from social media, what news did you see online that you thought, you know what, like, rah, this is something that we need to discuss right now?
Well, what I've seen so far, and I think it's true now, I believe Fury and Dylan, it's definitely happening now because Bob mentioned that it wasn't happening. He mentioned that they're in talks with Andy Ruiz because Dylan
Yeah.
wanted a lot of money. But
Mm.
my understanding now, if I'm right, it has to go ahead now. I think they're negotiating. If it doesn't happen, then it goes to purse bid. Either way, that fight has to happen.
Cause I've been waiting for that news for the longest. Like I've been waiting for it, man. Because I just feel that Dylan now is at that stage now where he's ready to let loose, man. Do you know what I mean? He's like an animal in a cage, man, just ready to just be let free, man. And I just feel that he's been waiting for so long, man. Give the man what he deserves. He's been waiting for over 1,000 days. Like, come on, like, what else does this guy have to do?
Also, talk about heavyweight. Obviously, I don't know how true it is, but has Rob McCracken gone?
Woo! What? Rob McCracken? What? AJ's
Got
Rob McCracken.
gone. I don't know. I mean, has he gone? I'm hearing he's gone. He's disappeared. He's no longer in the camp no more. I don't know. I'm just going by through what
Wait, see,
people are
these
saying on
times
social media.
I'm expecting to see Chris pop up in this pod right now, man. He's probably happy right now with, like, you know what I mean? It's mad. Yo, if that's the case, I just feel it's that time, man. I think Joshua's at that stage now where he needs a world class team now, man. He's been there with Rob. He's done. They've done the best they can together. Maybe we needed like another coach to just take him through to the next level once again, man. And who knows who that person is, man. But look, I support the decision. If that is the case,
Hmm.
sometimes, especially for a new year, you need change, man. So, what's your general thoughts, man? Because I know I remember that sort of previously in earlier episodes, you obviously wanted them to stay together and to
Yeah,
continue the work, man. But
yeah.
what's your sort of
No, I
overall
wanted them.
thoughts
I wanted
now?
them to stay together, but add somebody else in the team. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But the way I see it now, like you said, sometimes you need changes in your life, and end of the day, like, he needs his belt back. So
Mm.
he needs that world class coach who's gonna, teach him something new, something that he's never done before. I mean, as much as we say, oh, he has to be aggressive, he has to be this and that, yeah, he might do something completely different where we're like, oh wow. I
Mm.
mean, just reflecting on, when he lost to Andrew Ruiz.
Mm.
Again, everyone was like, oh, it's over for him, blah, blah, blah. But then look, done a masterclass. So I don't know.
No, you know what? This is a sort of thought that I've had in my head for quite some time. I'm not even gonna lie to you. With like someone like AJ, for example, he obviously just needs to, like, in my opinion, especially for this type of fight against a Usyk, who's obviously the smaller man, he needs to do what Fury done to Wilder: be rough, hold when the time is needed, obviously be more aggressive, but don't box with the boxer. Of course, he just needs to be the aggressor and attack. Now, what I'm thinking though is, how do you feel? This could be maybe a new subject for a new pod, man. But what do you think of ex legends being trainers? And do you think possibly like an ex legend, like maybe a Floyd Mayweather or Andre Ward? Do you think that
Hmm,
those sort of people can help AJ for these type of fights?
I don't know. No, that's a good question. I think it really depends, because it really depends. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Mm.
Um, I mean, what, as in to coach him or to guide him?
I would say a bit of both. A bit of both at the end
The
of the day. Yeah.
only the only guidance that I could say, the advice that he can take from, well, he probably wouldn't, but probably be Lennox Lewis, because he's done it all. He's traveled the world, he's been defeated and he's come back, do you know what I mean?
Mm,
But
you're right.
again, that's another story. But yeah,
But you know what? But at the end of the day, the way I'm thinking about it is like Lennox Lewis, for example, in this situation, would be the perfect mentor for Joshua, man. Do you know what I mean? In terms of getting a man or preparing a guy's mind mentally to get back his belts,
mm,
who better than someone like that, man? But you know what? That's probably obviously going to be another subject for another day, of course. But look,
I've got
yeah, go for it,
I've
man.
got a
You
question. Yeah, I've got a
go for
question.
it.
We've been talking about this so many times here about Dylan and Fury. Yeah,
Yeah.
my question to you is, who wins and how?
Ooh, cuz you're getting me on the spot like this, yeah. All right, let's. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, this may sound crazy. Obviously, I'm
Mm,
online. I'm live. I'm putting it out there. This may sound crazy. Fury is number one. One of he's the generation's best, obviously, right now. But I just feel that Dylan White, if he catches you with that left hook like any heavyweight, yo, it could be lights out, man. It could be lights out. Honestly, if there's gonna be like, think about it. You see the way the trilogy panned out
mm, mm.
with the amount of shots. I know obviously Wilder, his power is on a different level, and I agree, it's on a different scale. But I'm thinking if Dylan's catching Fury with the left hook, the way Wilder's been catching Fury, what do you think though, cuz man? Because Dylan's a pretty big guy, man.
No,
And
of course.
you know what I mean? If he
Yeah.
lays his weight properly on these punches, you
Mm.
don't think he's gonna make a man drop to the point where he probably might not get up. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
it's gonna be a proper scrappers.
It's a scrap.
He's not gonna really look. The can man, we already know he's serious. So is Fury, and I believe Fury's also going to take Dylan White serious. He's not. I mean, people talk, say this and that, they're all bombs, blah blah blah. But come on, you're going against somebody here who's been waiting for a very long time, who's very hungry, and also, if you're, I salute him to say that he's confident, because Frank Warren said that they don't want to put a rematch clause. They just want to get this fight over and done with, and
Mhm.
then
That's what respect.
uh,
That's why Frank
yeah,
Warren, if you're listening, if you're watching this pod, respect. Because at the end of the day, we live in a generation now where there's too much release clauses in some of these title defenses. I'm not disrespecting any boxer because obviously I haven't been in the ring, so I can't have my judgments. But from a
yeah.
fan's perspective, like I just feel that when a champion has that rematch clause in his contract, I don't know if he's slightly complacent. Because I'm not saying I would be, but in the back of your mind, if there's a little controversial one, I could, rematch
Mm-mm.
because anything happens in boxing, as you know,
Yeah.
one punch, that's it. Doesn't matter who you are.
That's true.
That's
It's true. But like I said before, it's a risk, because if he loses,
that's it.
technically, one-way ticket for undisputed.
Yep.
So, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it's looking like a madness, man. It's looking like a madness, man. Madness, man. But you know what? You know what? Like, obviously, this is 2022, episode 15. Obviously, we would absolutely love to spend hours, obviously, with you guys to speak about boxing, of course. But our time's up, of course. But, cuz, obviously, how do you want to sort of end this, man?
Yo, just want to say Happy New Year again. Remember to like, share, subscribe. I go by the name of Biyenge, featuring yours truly, Trey, and we're out.
We're out.